From Hollywood to H-Town.
Celebrity Scoop on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
It's brought to you by Taqueria Arandas, and there have been two celebrity passings. One is Beach Boys founder Brian Wilson, who passed away at the age of 82. Not an exact word on his cause of death, but he was diagnosed with dementia and placed in a conservatorship last year. So obviously this is not a shock to the family.
He had a long history of mental illness.
He was a genius.
He was a genius, but he was under the control.
And he was plagued by drug addiction as well throughout most of his life.
Yeah, he was under control of like this one particular man. He was like a guru to him and really just kept him isolated from the world for decades.
Well, Wilson Phillips, Carney and Wendy Wilson, the sisters, this is their dad.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So sad Father's Day weekend. They lost their dad, but maybe in sometimes when you have an elder that's struggling, sometimes it's a peaceful exit. You're kind of grateful for it.
Yeah, no more pain. And
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So Beach Boys issued a statement on their website saying Brian Wilson wasn't just the heart of the Beach Boys. He was the soul of our sound. The melodies he dreamed up and emotions he poured into every note changed the course of music forever. And that is Brian Wilson passing away at the age of 82. Now, the other passing that's hit me hard, because these are my MTV days. I'm like, what? No, MTV VJ Ananda Lewis, y'all, passed away from breast cancer. She battled breast cancer.
Sucks.
In October of 2024, she revealed that she had her stage 3 finding from a self-exam had escalated to stage 4. And she had she had declined to get a mastectomy for treatment. I feel like when I thought of like cool MTV VJs, it was Ananda Lewis and Tabitha Soren.
Yeah,
I could just hang out with those two.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that Ananda Lewis. Oh, God rest her soul, Ananda Lewis. She was only 52 years old. And her sister posted on Facebook that she's free and she's at peace.
She had a son, too.
Ananda Lewis says she's free and in his heavenly arms, Lord rest her soul. And it was a beautiful picture of Ananda Lewis. So if you are like, late 90s, 2000s,
Pretty much.
MTV.
You like the Backstreet Boys and all those?
Yeah, with TRL. She was
NSYNC,
just
she
like
was all
so
around.
cool. She was just so cool. Oh, Ananda Lewis, she has a 14-year-old son now.
He's 14. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. So Ananda Lewis is the other one that people are like, what? So there's so depending on your age, I guess your algorithm might have a lot of that today because they're going to be sharing videos of her cool times. Y'all,
And you know someone else? The guy from Ozark that lived with them in the house. The
older guy, yeah.
He just died.
Did he?
He was doing something with Laura Linney. They were about to work on a new project together. And
wow.
He just had a heart attack and died.
How old was he?
He was in Scarface. I just watched Scarface the other day. He was like a cop. He's like, you can't do anything to me, Tony. I'm a cop.
How old was he? Older guy?
Yeah, he's like,
okay.
I'll show you a photo. If you see him,
80s,
you'll know him.
The time of the MTV VJ, if you lived those days, if you watched MTV when it was really about, not still about the music, like the 80s kids would be like, oh yeah, that's, Video Killed the Radio Star. We watched videos on there. But I feel like my wheelhouse was when it took a turn into these cool shows. Like, they had Real World, yes. But the one that really hit me, Real World, was the Hawaii one with Tech and Ruthie, who had a drinking problem.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that was a big deal because Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt were married at the time, and the two of them had mentioned in an interview that they're like, they want to know if Ruthie's okay. Like, everybody was watching Real World with Ruthie and Tech, and I think Amaya was her name.
Yep.
And Colin.
You remember they jumped in the pool the first episode?
Yeah, the first episode, he got in the pool naked. He goes, are you going to take your clothes off? And
Yeah.
that was like a shocker for like the Real World kids to be like, okay, let's just get out there, get naked and
By the way,
afraid.
the
Don't be
guy's
afraid.
name, I want to give a shout out.
Yeah.
Harris Yulin.
Okay.
He was in Scarface, Ghostbusters 2, Clear and Present Danger, like I said, Ozark.
When you see his face, you know the work he's
one
done.
of those character actors.
Yeah,
everybody
yeah,
knows.
yeah.
And then you go, oh, yeah. So,
In Clear and Present Danger, that was a good one because that's like when you
That's
realize
Harrison
that
Ford,
inside
right?
the government, they're the ones that are controlling the cartels,
and
making deals. Like, wow. Anyway, there was a girl, when I was here answering phones, MTV did a Want to Be a VJ contest. And I went to visit my sister in New York, or actually she was in New Jersey, but MTV was doing the Want to Be a VJ contest when I was visiting her. So I remember I said, you know what, maybe I'll wake up and I'll go down there. Maybe I'll go down there. So I did. And it was like thousands of people. And the job was $25,000 in a Kia is what you win if they pick you to be a VJ. You get to be a VJ for a year. And I had to read this line and I was thinking.
Is that your salary?
They gave you $25,000
on top of it, maybe a salary.
No, it's going to be they give you a $25,000 job
In
and
New
a
York?
Kia. And I'm thinking, like, really, when I did the math, because I knew since my sister had been living in Hoboken, I was like, I don't really think that's a good deal.
But if you're on TV and you get
But you're going to be on TV and do all this fun
What
stuff.
was that guy's name? Crawl?
Jesse.
Jesse. Oh.
Yeah, you're thinking of son-in-law.
Yeah, son-in-law.
I was like, that's nowhere near
you and I were working together when
Maybe a
Jesse.
son-in-law guy, like,
Do you remember Jesse came up to our?
that'd be that's
He had the
worked
crazy
together.
hair. But that's where Matt Pinfield came from because it's between no, not Matt Pinfield. They said the bald guy. Dave Holmes.
Holmes.
Dave Holmes and this guy Jesse were the finalists to be the first VJ for Wanna Be a VJ.
And Dave Holmes succeeded.
Dave Holmes was more successful. He's kind of like the who's the guy that you are crazy for, Ryan? Adam Lambert. He's the Adam Lambert of American Idol because even though Chris Allen won, Adam Lambert has had longer, more longevity and success. It was the same thing with Dave Holmes. Dave Holmes was not picked to be the VJ. Jesse was. Jesse did his 1 year and he was out. And Dave Holmes ended up working for MTV for a long time.
He did like Say What Karaoke. He did like Reno 911. He was on.
Oh, wow.
He did a lot of like in between like TNT, one of those types of things where they bring a new show out and they do in between cutaways. Like here, this happened in the movie that's coming up next. They would show that. What was the name of it? Damn it, I forget the name of the show he was on. You see his face all the time.
Yes, he was on a TV show.
One of those faces you see and you go, oh yeah, that guy. He was on MTV. I forgot about him.
But the thing is, like what Roula was talking about earlier with MTV and not paying. Do you remember MTV
Not
too?
paying. What do you mean?
Like the salaries not being.
Oh, yeah, not paying.
Basically,
Yeah.
You get the free promotion.
Sure,
Yeah.
and also you get the cool stuff. Like when I was 20-something years old, maybe I was 20 years old, I'd be like, oh my God, that'd be so amazing. They'll pay for me to go to the VMAs. They'll pay for me to go to the Grammys. They'll pay for me to
You
go to
do get to
MTV
go to those
Spring
shows.
Break in
Experience.
Cancun.
But I did taped a bunch of stuff. I was a VJ on MTV2 for like 2 weeks. We went in and you just recorded all the things. You did it in one afternoon. I don't think I got paid anything for it. Like
you're
I
just
don't
lucky
think
to
I
be
even
here.
got like $1 for it. But yeah, that's how they looked at it.
What was
you know?
your friend was what was your friend that Kane? No,
Oh, Kane was on there. Yeah,
like in like
I don't
2000.
know what happened to him.
Gosh, what was the other girl's name, y'all? I'm trying to look her up. The year that I went to go try out for it, Jesse had already been the VJ, so now they're looking for like the second one or the third, I think.
He was like a
I'm
joke, just
trying
like
to find her. Yeah, he
when
was.
you picked the nerd to be a homecoming king or something,
Oh yeah,
Because he was.
on the court or something.
He's had like silly
I know what you're
hair, and he
saying.
was real skinny and wear like long scarves, like Aerosmith, like a Steve. And he would talk like this. Have you ever heard of Jesse from MTV VJ?
No.
He was like a blink.
Look him up. You'll be like, how did this guy get on national TV?
When you and I,
You'll
Eric,
be like,
when
"Why
we
can't
when
I
we
be?"
worked in that building in Dallas, do you remember? Were you there when he came up to the station?
I can't remember.
Oh, he smelled.
I don't remember that.
Just remember.
Yeah, he looks like it.
Yeah, just
He looks like he smells.
a little bit.
Yeah, he looked like
Hey, yo, it's time for What's Going Down, in H-Town on the Roula and Ryan Show with Eric.
104.1 KRBE.
All right, we are having a weather alert day, and it does look like a flood watch is in effect. It's till 7 p.m. So as of this morning, just within the last hour, about 8.5 thousand people, CenterPoint Energy customers, are without power. The tracker reported 8,504 customers without power, stemming from 220 different outages around the city. So, here we go again. So, the Astroworld tragedy, the Travis Scott debacle.
I saw that pop up on Netflix yesterday.
Exactly.
I watched the trailer.
So the documentary, it leans hard into the idea as the fateful 2021 Travis Scott concert, which took 10 people's lives, is now out on Netflix.
But is it to expose people or is it just what happened?
It's just showing like how did this happen?
Yeah.
How
Like,
how
who's
do people
responsible?
die going to in the trailer because I didn't have time to click it to watch the whole thing. The cop is saying we were hired as HPD just to monitor like crime. We weren't there to crowd control. We weren't part of the people who organized the event. We were there to control the crime, but everyone knows the iconic video of everyone jumping that fence.
Yep.
That fence came down. Everyone started running in there, and they were showing that when the cop was saying we were hired to be the crime watchers. We were not hired to be the crowd controllers.
Yeah.
And you knew this thing was going downhill by noon when people had pushed down that chain link fence. Who is responsible? Who can't sleep at night because they didn't call it?
Well, maybe
by
we'll get
2
some
p.m.?
answers watching this documentary. So it's called The Astroworld Tragedy. It's on Netflix. So if you'd like to look into that, that's what's going down in H-Town.
Check it out.
Okay, so coming up next, it's all about you, dads, or the dad in your life. We have something fun for you to win, but you have to give us your best dad joke. And by best, I mean the worst. It's $100 gift card to Bad Astronaut Brewing Company, and then 2 tickets to go ape in Sugarland, where you can climb, swing, and zip through the trees with thrilling obstacles and soaring zip lines. It's an adventure park. So you just line them up. 833-390-KRBE. That's 5723.
And we're going to vote
the
on
best dad joke.
the best of we'll rate it like 1 to 10. What we think.
Who's got the best dad joke?
Delivery, what the joke is, all that stuff.
Dad joke next on KRBE.